This is a brief exploration of unconditional freedom and what that might mean. Unconditional freedom, naturally, is not dependent on any condition. It's not dependent on anything, any circumstance, anyone. It's not dependent. It's not conditional. We could say it's inherent. And it is a freedom that is inherent. So what could that mean? Again, we'll review some of what it's not. It's not dependent on certain words. It's not dependent on you listening to this or understanding it, or me saying it or me understanding it. It's not dependent on a certain relationship or a certain job or a certain career or a certain financial circumstance or a certain physical circumstance. It's not dependent on any circumstance. It's not freedom through any of those methods. Those are like methods. You're going to learn it through a certain way. You're going to attain it through a certain relationship or maintain it through a certain job or financial circumstance, physical circumstance. Those would not be unconditional freedom. Those would be conditional. It's not freedom from something external either. It's not only is it not freedom through something external, it's not freedom from something external. Like freedom from a certain pattern of relationship, freedom from a job, freedom from a certain financial circumstance or a certain physical circumstance. And generally, when we're talking about conditional freedom and freedom through some method, we mean freedom from something through some other method. This is unconditional freedom that we're exploring, distinguishing. It's not freedom to do a particular specific thing, which might be an obsession. But it's not even free from one obsession or all obsessions. It's independent of what might be called obsession or obsessing. That would not be unconditional freedom. It is not freedom from a belief in fundamental limitation or a belief in a fundamental need to compensate or avoid or attain. But that is close. Fundamental limitations as a belief or fundamental needs to do something or avoid something might not be unconditional freedom, right? It could be freedom from striving or freedom to strive. It's unconditional. It could be freedom of speech or freedom of thought, but it could also be freedom from speech or freedom from thought. No one else needs to agree. No one else even needs to know. It does not come from outside. It can't be prevented from some external circumstance. Others may talk of it or not. Others may believe in it or not. Others may agree about it or not. Others may know it for themselves or not. Unconditional freedom is the freedom to remain as one already is or not. The world can change or end or begin. Circumstances can change or end or begin. Unconditional freedom could be a personal freedom from the world, or not. Unconditional freedom could be the world free from personality, or not. Whether there's freedom in any particular way isn't important. It's unconditional freedom. Whether there's the presence or absence of any particular circumstance isn't important in terms of producing unconditional freedom. Unconditional freedom isn't dependent on anything. Unconditional freedom could be with attention to freedom or not. It's unconditional. It doesn't even require attention. Attention doesn't disturb it, but it doesn't even require anything. Unconditional freedom.